So this is officially the last video that I'll be making for the 7 video challenge. Don't worry, I'm still gonna be making videos. If anyone's watching this, I'm not formally quitting. I still got a couple of days. It is officially day 6 or 7 of the 90-day challenge for myself. So part of the reasons why I've been making these videos and kind of a speed run method was because I wanted to challenge myself and say what I can do in terms of learning how to like speak in front of a camera and basically like think of topics and just make it different from what you see from the usual. Obviously, I've still got a lot to learn. It's still very intro stages right now. I'm still kind of struggling with the fact that I bit my tongue the other day, so it kind of seems like I'm speaking with a lisp. But hopefully this gets better soon. Um, but the other thing I wanted to kind of say is I'm really grateful that I was able to like push myself through this opportunity, because I know for a fact like I've had a chance of like working on this a lot earlier. I could have saved myself a lot more trouble. I could have essentially like planned a lot of things better, set a lot of footage quicker, but I'm kind of happy that I was able to go through and like complete it down to this stage. So how I felt at the beginning was I was very hyped and excited that things are starting to pick up. This seems very different from the usual challenges that I've had, and turned out that I procrastinated most of the time. But what I did realize is when you're pushed into a corner where basically you're burning boats, it gives you sort of a drive to kind of do better than what you're meant to. Obviously, it's not always healthy. So if you're thinking about creating like content for challenges, always note that you would still need to prepare some way, shape, or form. You wouldn't want to just gung ho everything. So coming into it now, which is on my 7th video, I felt like I could have, yeah, I still think I could do so much better. Um, Now that I'm thinking about what videos to serve clients and how to, give them value, a lot of the things, like looking back, could have been done with better resources. And what I mean was, like, let's say if I could have gotten like some editors to help me create like fancier animations, or just like being able to deliver the points across, the videos might be actually useful in a more evergreen way. But it's also had me think about how I can be more resourceful now moving forward. So the biggest challenge I'm going to be facing now is just like getting used to the idea of, okay, this is what I have at the moment. I'm going to have to work with what I have. And slowly, slowly, I'm going to be having less and less of things. But then it's going to get me to think outside of the box and just know that, okay, what can I use in my current state that I can still like deliver impact the best way I can. So for now, I think the best thing for me is to start like getting used to speaking in front of a camera without a formal script and just like some guidelines. And the other thing I'm thinking about now is like when it comes to thumbnails, I don't want to go too like AI driven. I don't know if it's because it just feels like, okay, find a thumbnail that I really like and then just like put my face on it there. Just feels a bit different rather than just like creating a specific premise for whatever I'm going to be talking about and then creating thumbnails from scratch. So I have to be wary as well about the time, because obviously I'm not as young as most of the other YouTubers out there. Who's probably started this at age 20, 21, 22, and they've had more reps down the line. So I really have to think this through. But I also don't want to get too stuck in the trenches of overthinking, because I think that's been the problem for me. Not just before this challenge ever started, but like throughout the whole couple of years of my life where I've had to think too much and worried about what other people thought, and essentially like think, what if I did this instead and that instead? And I was facing certain bouts of like um, shining object syndrome, like I need to get this perfect, otherwise I can't move forward. And then slowly, once I realized like the better I give myself the opportunity to launch and execute, the more I can kind of get actual feedback. So at the moment, like I'm lucky enough that I don't have a huge of an audience to kind of worry about these things and like getting as much quote unquote hate or just criticism. I've had like outreach messages where I was promising a certain type of result for people and said, hey, do you want to get 10 to 20 like appointments in a month? And someone messaged me and said, that's not enough, pal. You need more than that to convince me. and I'm not gonna take what you sell. It's like, okay, well, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just wondering, do you want this or not? Um, but then when I think about it, I'm pretty much gonna be selling myself as both the provider and the service as well, as I go. So I don't have time to debate with people either. So at the end of the day, it's just delivering as much goodwill and value as I can and position myself and my conviction in the best way possible. Um, but yeah, I don't think I've overcome all of my challenges, but the other ones I would say is just like the shiny object syndrome, the which tools to use, and then just like overthinking things. And I've just overcome them just by being able to know, okay, I have a strict deadline to hit. If I don't hit it, then obviously I'm not gonna hit the challenge. And in this case, it's one of those challenges that's like shown me how there's a lot of things about YouTube that a lot of people seem to miss. And once they have had the opportunity to kind of start posting and talking and having these little discussions, is when they realize that, you know, there's more to it than meets the eye. I would wanted to even explore shorts at some point, but again, that's another learning curve I'll have to realize. Carousels may be a good thing as well. I would say the favorite video I've had to make so far is probably the first one, just because like everything felt so fresh about this, and I've thought about how radical like the idea is. But really, there's a lot of people who might have actually done the same route as me, which is like, okay, I'm just gonna go all in and then lock in. And some of them may have better backstories than I do, which is like, okay, I dropped out of college just to do this and go all in, or like um, someone who just kept on grinding until they hit that certain point of view. But I guess for me, I think just being able to tell my origin story and just hitting publish for the very first time is very, um, I guess, freeing. I think somewhere down the track, I'm gonna look back into this day and think, this 30-year-old who's basically done this challenge to try to make something of himself. How funny it is if he had to look 5 or 10 years down the track and slowly come to terms that none of this is really gonna matter, in the sense of everything is gonna work out the way it's meant to be. So if I failed the challenge, then at least I've had the biggest lesson, the most expensive lesson I've had so far. But I know in the next couple of years down the track, there will be more lessons, more things in life that I'm going to be encountering, and hopefully I'll get to learn more from them. Um, in terms of skill set, I would think the things that have improved is basically just being wary of time. Um, I know I did kind of like a speed run these next couple of weeks, but like I said, if we're able, I'm able to prepare a bit more and like plan it out step by step, it would have been more reasonable to think that I could come up with better ideas. Um, and areas that I want to continue improving, of course, is just being able to speak more confidently in front of the camera, being able to like think of the thumbnails, the video topics, because there's so much topics to talk about. And I think the other thing I want to overcome or continue developing is just like the ability to ship, or the ability to just click publish, don't overthink things. And even though they're at 80% at the moment, if you think this is valuable to the world, just put it out there. Because somewhere down the track, if it's not you, someone else is going to come and visit this video in their YouTube algorithm and think, okay, this guy was pretty brave doing it in their parents, like recording a video in their parents' bedrooms and just talk about their life in general. And I guess my plans for YouTube going forward is I'm still trying to figure out whether I want to keep this test channel, but I do have a channel that I want to have where all the authority posts are going to be. And some of the things I've been thinking about is like knowing which funnels to run if you're an e-commerce, a service-based business owner, SaaS, so you know what to build and you don't disconnect with your clients or your prospects. Next up is what to look out for your ads and funnels in general. But some of the track, I'm starting to think whether ads and funnels is the right one for me, so I'm going to do a little bit of soul searching. Because I think in terms of the writing, what I've really come to enjoy the last couple of days is writing ads and writing scripts for people as well on YouTube. So if there's a way I can kind of create both, best of both worlds, it'll be there. But at the same time, I have to be wary that there are people who want to buy what they buy. So let's say, for example, SEO is a pretty good service. But if people want to buy AI more, then that's something we'll have to pitch. Um, and that's something I'm still open to, because at the end of the day, if it delivers people's results, they'd want to be able to test out those different avenues. So I might do that three-prong approach, which is basically organic, paid, and then um, within organic you have like SEO, and then you have the social content, because you never know which one you're going to resonate with the most, whether it's the algorithm that's going to get you to your next audience or whether your audience is going to find you. Either way, we're going to have to test that one way or another. um, and I think that's kind of where I'm planning to go. So I'll leave you with that for now. I don't know if I'll be having another next video here that you can watch, but obviously you can see my videos within the last 7 days. um, in terms of the most, I guess, fun that I've had of like being able to ship, as well as like the ChatGPT ads as well, but at the same time like teaching people how to do um, like how to create their lead magnets. It's not the most perfect tutorial. I think I could have done that better. So I might even like do a remix of those and just keep updating them until it gets better and better. Because at the end of the day, I think that's kind of how a lot of the creators tend to have, where they've had seasons of just like testing and starting things, doing random things and seeing where they would go viral, and then coming to realize maybe this isn't something that I would want to do moving forward. Maybe this is where I want to go. This is where I want to be. And at least for now, I have a couple of videos that say, okay, you've done this already. Now you got to figure out, what do you want, or what does the audience want, and then go from there. Excuse me. And yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna have lunch, and then proceed with my usual schedule of like preparing for outreach and then figuring out where to find like um, my next set of clients for the next couple of days. But otherwise, hope you enjoyed watching some of the videos, and if you haven't, I would recommend starting with video one and then just like create your own journey. So in the same way, this has been really fun. So thank you for the opportunity, Ali Abdaal. And at the same time, I will be continuing this for the next couple of days, weeks, months, even years. Whether it's not a YouTube video, maybe it's something else, but that's something I'll figure out. But yeah, it's been definitely eye-opening. So thank you for watching, and ta-ta for